Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Thursday, October 31st, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 4 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So today's the last day of the month, and the spirit guidance for today is the fish. And with the fish energy, I get prosperity, I get new beginning, I get nurturing. And with the energies in the day adding up and reducing to number 4 vibration, the number 4 brings me to stability, security. The number 4 brings me to discipline and structure, and how discipline and structure is important in order to create anything. I think of, say, the day being the 31st, and the number 3 is a creative, expressive, artistic energy. But regardless of how creative you are, regardless of how intuitive you are, how smart you are, clever, all of that, without discipline, consistency, structure, and organization, all of that pretty much goes out the window. So today, being the 31st and the last of the month, today's one of those days where the veil is known to be so much thinner than normal. And the number 31. So the number 3 plus 1 adds up and creates the number 4 again. And whenever the number 4 is created by the number 3 and the number 1, I think of wanting to be expressive, creative, and lead, but not trust oneself enough. So wanting a situation that will allow you to color within the box because you don't trust yourself enough to, you don't trust yourself. So because you don't trust yourself, you're afraid you might go over the edge. And what is the edge exactly? So when I see the number 31 or even the number 13 and how it creates the number 4, I always think of the need for structure in order to feel safe. Like I think of someone being afraid of themselves, fearing, I think of a person fearing themselves, fearing destruction coming through their own actions because of a lack of structure and organization. I don't know why this is a weird thought that's coming to mind, but I think of situations where you'll hear a person OD'd and they passed away because of it. And I think of like an accidental OD. When I think of the number 31 energy, I think of like someone accidentally not saying if your birthday is on the 31st or anything like that is the case, but I get the feeling of when it comes to the number 31 energy, I think of someone having to be very careful with themselves because it's so easy to go over the edge, whatever the edge means for a person. So again, it comes back to structure and discipline. Today, the moon is at 29 degrees Libra, so it's on its way into Scorpio. So with the moon at 29 degrees Libra, it brings me to intense emotions pertaining to relationships, relating, and connecting with others. The moon is a part of a T-square between Pluto and Capricorn at 29 degrees also, and Mars in Cancer at 28 degrees. So when it comes to this T-square to the moon, this T-square to the moon for me feels a bit intense because of the things that we're focused on today. Because with the moon at 29 degrees around 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, with the moon at 29 degrees, in Libra getting ready to go into Scorpio, it brings me to really intense emotions pertaining to connections. And with that, creating a square to Pluto at 29 degrees in Capricorn. Capricorn energy deals with goals, responsibility, ambition, authority figures, the system. And when it comes to today's energy, it feels like there's some intense emotion around our relationship or our connections with our bosses, our authority figures, maybe a father figure, or just that intense emotion when it comes to certain ambitious goals that you might have for yourself that you might only keep inside of yourself, but something about that in relation to a friendship, a relationship, a connection, or just how you relate to life on a whole, there's some kind of friction there. Friction there because with the moon in Libra energy, this is where we understand the importance of connections, and the universe blesses us through others, so connections are important. But sometimes we might put too much emphasis on connections to the point that we completely betray ourselves, our needs, and what's important to us. And I feel like if we're not able to fully take care of ourselves so we could feel whole and complete, then we're showing up to whatever it is that we need to do, whatever it is that's required. We're showing up half empty. We're not showing up fulfilled. We're not showing up in the position to be able to give something our all. So we first need to give that to ourselves so that we can be energized enough to give it out. And I feel like if we give that to ourselves, more than likely we're going to give twice that to the world, to others, to the things that are important to us. And the moon is also creating a square with Mars in Cancer. So today, for some people, some issues could come up around your relationship with your mother and your father, with your family. Issues could come up today when it comes to your home life and your public life, what you consider to be sacred, safe, and secure. Challenges come up with that, and also to your position in the world, your ambition, your goals, what you see for yourself. So when it comes to today's energy, it brings me to the thought of, it's like there's this energetic squeeze, and the energetic squeeze could feel like emotional imbalance, turbulence within. And that turbulence within is because the foundation is weak pertaining to how we connect with others and how much emphasis or importance we put on what other people think about us, and maybe the way people think about us and feel about us, those things might have a lot to do with, or we might determine our self-worth on those things. And today is one of those days where if that is the case, it's going to be amplified. But with the fish coming out as the spirit guidance for today, I'm getting something about allowing. It's like there's something set up. Something is set up for you, or being set up, being aligned, being organized. And it's a matter of not allowing fear to cause you to abort, restrict, block, or stop something that's already set up for you. So when it comes to today's energy, yes, there might be some insecurities or fears and wanting to be extra organized or extra hands-on when it comes to something. But when it comes to today's energy, I'm getting the importance to just surrender and let go. I love how the moon at 29 degrees though is creating a trine with Jupiter in Gemini, and with the trine to Jupiter in Gemini, yes, there are challenges and restrictions that the moon is dealing with, but then there's also another side to the moon where we feel free when we're socializing or connecting with friends. So for me, when it comes to the issues of the moon, this intense emotions come from the things we care about. Not saying we don't care about friends, but your home, your public life, your safe, sacred space, and your ambition, your legacy, and what you see for yourself in the world. There's a lot of pressure where that's concerned. When it comes to, say, quick conversation at the water cooler at work, or engaging with social media friends, those things might bring you joy because there's not a lot of pressure there. But there's a lot of pressure in the areas of your life that deals with where you rest your head, your home, your family, and your goals, ambitions, your environment at work with your boss, with an authority figure. And I feel like these energies are intentionally helping you to be honest with yourself about how you really feel about the situation and what it is that you want for yourself. I get for someone that you might be in an environment where it feels like you're being pushed out. And like I said earlier, with this energy, it's a matter of just going with the flow and allow the energy to take you where it will, because you are being guarded. You're not alone. You're not in this on your own. So just trust and go with the flow. Jupiter is the ruler of the day. I mentioned the positive aspect that it's making to the moon, the only positive aspect being made to the moon. And of course, Jupiter in Gemini is squaring Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And with Jupiter, the square being made to Jupiter, ongoing throughout the month, and even, a few months back, you may have been feeling it. And what you may have been feeling or noticing is how much the food you're consuming is working for you or not, the information you're consuming, or the people you associate yourself with. Because Jupiter in Gemini brings me to amplifying information, how we inform ourselves. With food, we inform ourselves. With the friends we associate ourselves with, we inform our energy, our spirit, our mind, our soul. When it comes to the information we consume and how we entertain ourselves, similar things. Because what I've noticed with myself lately, certain things that I would watch as a form of entertainment and keep up with, all of a sudden, like, there's something in me just saying no. Like, it's like there's this like, those of you who are into human design, because that's where I heard this before, where based on my human design type, whenever, and I'm not big on it, so I don't know the details of it, but when I heard this, I resonated with it for sure. Where for me, I'm all about sensing and feeling things, and when something isn't right, there's this feeling that I have inside. Or if I should get more of a thing, there's this and I've been aware of that feeling for a long time, and I allow it to guide me. So when I come across certain things and there's the feeling inside, of course, for a while I used to dismiss that feeling, push past it, maybe because I want to people please or whatever the situation may be. But now whenever I feel that like, I trust that So when I come across certain information that I know is made to make me feel a certain way, because, okay, so what's coming to mind, I remember watching something on YouTube and Elon Musk came up, and the thought that came to mind, but it wasn't these exact words, was controlled opposition. Like, yes, he's playing the side of the opposite, but we have these people put in front of us as, this person represents, it's like a movie, and it's like, these are the bad guys and these are the good guys. These are bad guys for some people, but they're good guys for others. And these are good guys for some people, but they're bad guys for others. And it's like watching some kind of a Marvel movie with the back and forth with these good guys and bad guys. And sometimes I'll get bored and entertain this reality show of the back and forth. And I remember coming across something and I thought to myself, Elon is controlled opposition. Those weren't my exact words though, but that's what I felt. It was something that came over me briefly. And then I was scrolling, came across some content, and that was the title, Controlled Opposition. And I'm like, I thought that. So because I thought that, I clicked and I was watching. And from clicking and watching, I don't remember what the person said. I just know the title was confirming for me. And I guess a person was clearly speaking on that, but I don't remember anything that was said in it because probably I didn't even finish it. But just thinking about the control opposition thing, I'm now with the Jupiter and Gemini, I'm now very intentional about what I consume information wise, because the controlled oppositions when it comes to these people put in front of us fighting against good and evil or whatever it may be, because in my mind it's like a reality Marvel movie happening in front of me. It's like instead I try to consume content that has nothing to do with the opposition, whether it's, say, entertainment, maybe it's like a silly, I don't know, videos with cats and animals and babies doing funny things and people doing funny things, or just content that pours into me, if that makes sense, because clearly the opposition stuff is taking something from me. It's like I'm not conscious of what it's taking exactly sometimes, even though yes, sometimes I'm conscious of what it takes, because a lot of the times it'll steal my joy. But other times I guess it creates this web, and it kind of creates this gravity that pulls me into this realm, which feels like a collective realm where most people dwell there, and it kind of takes your attention away. And as I was speaking just now, and I was talking about the controlled opposition, in the back of my mind is like another memory or a thought is going, but it's like there's a TV playing in the back of my mind, and I'm observing it as I'm speaking to you. And as I'm observing it, as I'm speaking to you, it just felt like this is all deja vu, like it's all happened before. And let me just shuffle this card. I feel like I'm having a Black Mirror moment. Okay, so when it comes to the tarot, we have the Justice card. So I like the energies with these. With the Justice card and the fish, like I said earlier, something about today, just let go and allow the flow. Like you might feel like you need to put up resistance, you need to fight, you need to block, you need to restrict, but go with the flow. Go with the flow. Fighting is not the answer when it comes to whatever it is that you're dealing with today. When I think of the Justice card and I think of the number 4, I think of structure, organization, I think of honesty and fairness, I think of integrity. For me, when it comes to life, I feel like living by a code creates a lot of peace, in the sense that in my mind, I'm living by a code that says, as long as I'm having integrity and being fair and honest, everything is happening for my greatest good. And if ever there are moments where it feels like it isn't, that's because life is creating change or presenting change to me. And of course, change is painful. Of course, the unknown of it is scary. So when it comes to today's energy, I just feel like there's some things that can cause some of us to feel like we need to hold on and fight and whatnot and defend ourselves. And I guess what's coming to mind is like there's a part of me that feels silly for thinking it, because there's another, I guess the practical side of my mind feels like it's so ridiculous to even think it. What came to mind was that there's never a need to defend yourself. But then there's another thought that came to mind that says that's ridiculous, that's silly to think that. And I guess the part of me that felt like there's never a need thought that, because I guess I felt like if we're always aligned with flow, and aligned with the flow for me would mean that, like, yes, you get up and some days are challenging, frustrating, and all of that, but you challenge yourself to just trust and know that everything is working out for you, regardless of how it seems. I feel like the opposition is to pull you up out of that flow. Yes, that's the gravitational pull of the opposition, the controlled opposition, meaning these people in front of us battling, going back and forth. They're meant to pull us out of the flow. They're meant to distract us from the flow. They're meant to cause us to lose our way from the flow. Like, imagine the flow is a radio station, and your only job in this life is to stay in tune, because this radio station is like an invisible ocean that's flowing through timelines, and it's carrying you. And if you stay tuned to this frequency, you'll be aligned. You'll be aligned and carried. And I guess in that case, there's never a need to defend yourself, because you're being carried. And in any moment where it feels like something is against you, it's not against you. It's just that chaotic energy that's needed to turn a corner or change course, but you're still in alignment, even though things feel chaotic. So the opposition is meant to distract us from the frequency, pull us away from the path, because this path is an invisible flow. So if we're pulled away, it's so easy to lose our way. And it's easy to lose our way if we allow these distractions to pull us away, only to find ourselves trying to get back to that old feeling and just lost, not figuring out, not knowing how to find the door to get back to this magical place that you probably can't describe, but you just know it feels good. And I guess for me, it's like having a peace of mind, having a peace of mind, like having a peace of mind. And no matter what's happening, I think of, being in a space where you might not know how you're going to pay next month's bills, but every month when the bills are due, they get paid, and you're able to provide for yourself and your family. When you think far out, you get overwhelmed, but then you rein yourself back into the flow, tuned into the station, to the frequency, and things just show up. Things just show up, and every day just carries you to the next and the next and the next and the next. And you look back, and all this time has passed, and you've been able to take care of yourself and your family. And a part of you know how you did it on a practical level, but at the same time don't know how you did it, because when you do the math don't math. But for some reason, when you look back, the math comes together and things are taken care of. And for me, that's that flow. And when it comes to today's energy, don't allow anything to get you off that flow. And those moments when things feel chaotic and out of control, those are the moments when, you want to be even more optimistic and just hold on to the frequency, hold on to the flow. And holding on to the flow is just knowing that everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me, regardless of how it seems. Because those chaotic moments, I feel like it's like a shift, a turning the corner, a going over a pothole. That's all it is. So when it comes to today's energy, it just brings me to going with the flow. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me, because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits. If that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning feeling for something, or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. If you'd like to check out my Patreon where I share exclusive content, the link to check out what's happening on Patreon is in the description box below. It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a green heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.